Hi everyone, let's go over my bullish and bearish Elliott Wave scenarios on Bitcoin, starting with the micro bearish scenario where we're looking for an impulsive structure to the downside in 5 waves, where currently we're either still working on wave 2 or wave 2 is already finished, where the most common target for a wave 2 is between the 0.5 and the 786, which is between 28.8k and I remember 29.5k over here. Now, in this particular scenario, we are then looking for 3 wave structures inside this wave 2 over here. And one of these structures is this one, where we then have a W, X, and eventually a wave Y. Wave W over here is a zigzag, wave X a triangle, and then because wave W is a zigzag, wave Y only has 2 options left, being a flat structure or a triangle by itself. In this particular scenario, I'm then looking for a flat structure with a 3-wave structure in a wave A, complex structure in a wave B, hitting the most common target area for a wave B between the 1.236 and the 1.38, which is between 28.2k and 28k, for then a wave C to the upside, where the most common target area for wave Y, somewhere around this area over here, which is in confluence with the golden pocket between 29.1k and 29.4k. However, this is called the local bullish scenario in my folders, as you can see, as we now expect an impulse to the upside. There is, of course, also a bearish scenario where wave 2 is then already finished after a 3-wave structure, which is quite very complex, like difficult to count to end something here. But in this particular scenario, we are then looking for a move towards the downside in an impulsive structure. So we have a 1, 2, then again a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending blue 3, looking for a wave 4 and eventually a wave 5 to the downside. Now, wave 4 of a higher degree, being the blue one over here, tends to finish around the wave 4 of a lower degree, which means somewhere around then this area. The 3A2 to the 05 is a common target area for a wave 4, and the invalidation would be that if price hits the 618 over here at 28,593 on my Coinbase chart, probabilities really increase for price to eventually continue, where we can then look also for this scenario, right, where price then is going to make a new high, taking this high, looking for the golden pocket, before then the probabilities are higher for a move towards the downside. Now, if we go to the micro bull scenario, you will see a question mark. And the bull scenario basically means any scenario at the moment that is taking this high. I have covered different scenarios in this range over here, and it's all a little bit clueless at the moment. Like you could have a WXY finishing here and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but wave 3 is shorter than wave 1. Wave 5 is longer than wave 3, so a diagonal doesn't work. A regular impulsive structure, 5 waves over here, also doesn't work. Somehow, like a 1, 2, 1, 2 also doesn't work. This looks very 3-wavy. We've been over a W and then X being a triangle, this being a wave Y, but then Y here is a 3-wave ABC, while W is also an ABC, and a WXY, where wave Y is an ABC and W also an ABC, is not allowed, because in a sideways double combo, you want W and Y to be different structures. So it's incredibly difficult to find a scenario over here which is very, very bullish, where after this range now you would take off without taking this low. So basically meaning the probabilities, even if you go up, are at the moment higher to take the low over here. Because at the moment it's just incredibly difficult to take any of the lows here and then count an impulsive structure. Even WXY, sorry, that was the one we had with the triangle and Y. This would be the low for then a wave 1, but you took the low, so that also doesn't work. So I'm very open to ideas, but we've covered many different scenarios, and it's just that the bullish scenarios are very low probability at the moment. Now, as you can see, we moved from the upper side of the channel to the lower side of the channel over here. We did manage to get back in the channel over here, retest it, and now moving to the upside. So potentially we're going to move to the middle, where we do have that order block, the 1-hour order block over here, which is important resistance for price, sitting between 28,480 and 28,580. If it manages to get through there, it will very likely also hit the golden pocket, which is just above that order block. So that is quite important for then continuation to the upside. And then eventually we then look for this scenario over here. Now, if we look at the CVD divergences, there's both bullish and bearish CVD divergences. This one, actually, this line should be red, as this is then a bearish CVD divergence. So with this low, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD, but at the same time, we also over here have a lower high in price and higher high on the CVD. And both of these are second CVD divergences. So this pivot already had a bullish CVD divergence with this one, which played out. So now that price comes down again, it's a second CVD, lower probability this pivot will hold. At the same time, the bearish CVD divergences here, you can see in yellow, price moving down, but constantly yellow moving up. So at the same time, we had CVD divergences, bearish ones over here locally, then again over here, and now once more over here. So this is also the second or third divergence. So to be honest, both of these, I'm not really interested in any of these. I just want to see a breakout either side and then take it from there. Now, something I do like to show helps with the probabilities is the move over here to the upside, because of course I share two scenarios. Either we then have a B and look for a C to the upside, or in the other scenario we look for a 4 and then a 5 to the downside. And of course, if price moves down, we have to patiently wait if we do get a 5 and a bounce, or of course if it just continues. Reason that I say this is because of the volume. So over here we made a low, lower low on price, higher high on the volume, which has a bit of a wave 3 characteristic as well. So that is quite important to at least take into account. And also if we then zoom in very, very locally, so I will go to the 3-minute over here, usually a time frame where I don't really go to, but you see a bit of a push, high volume over here, push towards the upside. But the thing is that if I take a fib from the low to the high and drag it to the right, and you can see that the golden pocket over here has been hit. And if we are looking for an impulsive structure to the upside, where potentially it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, wave 4, you don't want to see 0.618 being hit. But at the same time, it is the 3-minute. It's difficult to really count this structure on the 3-minute. So probability wise, at the moment on the local time frame, it means that I'm kind of neutral, maybe because of this structure a little bit more bearish, but honestly I'm hanging around the 50-50 at the moment regarding the probabilities for up or down. Of course, once the invalidation is hit, that is the moment that probabilities really start to change. All I have at the moment is the channel over here. We got back in the channel, currently hanging around the same range we've basically been in for most of the day, and we have a scenario all the way up. And we have the bearish scenario where it's a 4 and we go down. And honestly, it's very difficult to say. But all in all, on the micro, which is important, bit zoomed out, higher time frame, probabilities are higher in both of the scenarios to move to the downside and at least take this low over here. So even though the probabilities locally might be a bit confusing, I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the most recent educational video I've made about the best trading indicator you can use in my opinion, which is the CVD. And for now, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'd like to see you at the next one. Bye bye.